They'll ask you if you're okay. You'll say, "I'm fine." And the strange part, you won't even feel like you're lying. You've just gotten so good at carrying things alone that silence started to feel like the only language you trust. If you're someone who deals with everything quietly, who never brings up what's hurting, who figures it out alone, who waits until it passes, this isn't about weakness. There's a deeper psychology behind why some people go silent when they're struggling. And once you understand it, you'll never see yourself the same way again. 1. They learned early that expressing pain didn't help. For many silent sufferers, silence wasn't a choice, it was a lesson. Maybe you spoke up once and nobody took it seriously. Maybe you cried and were told to stop. Maybe the people around you were too overwhelmed with their own problems to hold yours. So over time, your mind made a quiet decision. Keep it inside. Not because you wanted to, but because experience taught you that speaking up didn't change anything. And that belief follows you into adulthood, even when the people around you are completely different now. 2. They don't want to be a burden to anyone. There's a specific kind of pain that comes with this. You're not quiet because you don't trust people. You're quiet because you care too much about them. You look at someone and think, they already have enough going on. Why add my problems to their plate? So you absorb everything alone. You convince yourself it's strength, but what it really is a fear of taking up space. A deep-rooted belief that your pain is less important than someone else's peace. And that belief is exhausting to carry. 3. Vulnerability feels more dangerous than silence. Opening up requires trust, and trust requires proof that the other person won't use what you share against you, won't judge you, dismiss you, or disappear after knowing the real you. For silent sufferers, that proof is hard to come by. They've seen what happens when you let people in. So instead of risking it, they build walls that look like calm. They become the person who seems fine, the composed one, the one who has it together. Not because they do, but because it's safer than letting anyone find out they don't. 4. They process pain internally, not externally. Some people think out loud. They talk through their problems to understand them. But silent sufferers think inward. They sit with something, turn it over in their mind 100 times, and work through it in the quiet. Talking doesn't feel like relief to them. It often feels like exposure, like handing someone a map to the most vulnerable parts of who they are. So they carry it internally, sometimes for months, until it either passes or breaks them. And they call that strength, even when it's destroying them slowly. 5. They fear what honesty might reveal. Here's something most people won't admit. Part of the silence isn't just about fear of others, it's fear of themselves. If you say it out loud, if you actually name what's hurting, it becomes real. It stops being something you can push down or distract yourself from. And sometimes, the truth of what you're carrying is something you're not ready to face. So the silence isn't avoidance of others, it's avoidance of the conversation you're not ready to have with yourself. 6. They've been misunderstood too many times. There's a particular kind of loneliness that comes from trying to explain yourself and still not being understood. You open up, you try to put it into words, and the person responds with something that makes you realize they don't get it, not even close. And that hurts in a different way. So after enough of those moments, you stop trying, not out of anger, out of exhaustion. Because the effort of explaining yourself and being met with misunderstanding feels worse than just staying quiet in the first place. 7. Silence became their identity without them realizing it. At some point, being the quiet one stopped being a coping mechanism and became a personality. People around you expect it. They call you the strong one. They say things like, "You always handle everything so well." And while that sounds like a compliment, it quietly traps you. Because now, falling apart feels like letting everyone down. Speaking up feels like betraying the version of yourself people have built their expectations around. So the silence deepens, not because you want it to, but because you don't know how to be anything else anymore. Here's the part nobody tells you. All of this, the silence, the self-sufficiency, the staying composed, it costs something. There's a bill that comes due eventually, not always in dramatic ways. Sometimes it's the tiredness that never goes away. The numbness, the way you feel disconnected even when you're surrounded by people who love you. And the hardest truth is this: silence doesn't heal you. It just delays the moment you have to face what's inside.
The goal isn't to suddenly become someone who overshares or falls apart in public. The goal is to find one safe place, one person, one outlet, even a journal where you can stop performing strength and just be honest. Because carrying everything alone isn't noble, it's just lonely, and you deserve more than lonely. If this described you, if you read this and felt like someone finally put into words something you've never been able to explain, subscribe. Because the more you understand about why you are the way you are, the easier it becomes to gently, slowly, start to change it.